Hi, today we're going to make this card, and it's kind of special because I'm part of a blog hop celebrating Susan Campfield's $1 Million Stamp Set, which has a lot of great inside and outside stamps in it. I'm going to be using the Happy Anniversary stamp because I never have enough of these. And I do want to show you one thing. I'm also using one of the new magnetic stamp pads in one of the new ink colors, and this is a piece of Tim Holtz grit mat, I think it is, and I'm just using that to keep my stamp pad in place while I'm using the blending brush. And I'm going to have to look for the link for this, but Mary Polenko, I think it is, showed how to make any glass board magnetic. So I got these magnets from Glassboard Studios on Amazon, or through Amazon at least, and I have this glass mat from Stampin Up, which is not magnetic, but I already had it. So I got a piece of, here maybe you can see that, I left the barcode so that you could see it, and I used E6000 to glue it onto the back of my board, and if you use these super strong magnets, it's magnetic, which is awesome for holding things in place when you want to do ink blending. Let's see if I can get, well, you're gonna have to deal with that, I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm gonna show you how I made this card. Now first, I want to talk about the different ways that you can emboss and ink blend. So this one, okay, you're not going to be able to read this, and I might not be able to read this. Okay, so this is the thick basic white cardstock, and I inked it first so that you can see that there's more of an even coverage, and then you get some of the white from where I embossed. It breaks the paper some, so you get some white. And then, yep, this is the thick one where I embossed it first and then inked it. So you get to see there's a lot more dark around where the raised pieces are. And this is the exact same with basic white, just not the thick. It's a slightly thinner weight cardstock. And the same for that. I am going to go with, what I used for the front of mine was the thick cardstock where I inked it after I embossed it. So we're going to start with that. And I will bring carefully my die cutting machine in on my glass platform, and we'll get it set up to emboss. Oh, I do not know where my embossing, oh there it is, found it. That's funny, Susan always says that. I found my embossing folder. So I always like to line it up with the line at the bottom. It doesn't matter as much with this one because it's an all over pattern, it's not vertical. Or, I mean, it doesn't matter if you get it vertically. So we're going to run that through. And then we're going to set the machine aside for a while until we need to die cut the Happy Anniversary. And I will show you something cool with this because we're going to use the new impression plate. They call it a plate, it's more of a mat, so that you can get a much more dimension after die cutting. So here we go. First we're going to ink this, and I'm going to use gently putting them on, trying not to flatten anything. I mean, these are really strong magnets. It's like the ones that we have on the Stamparatus, the really strong ones. It's like those. And I'm going to open my, oh, I put the sticky stuff on the wrong side. I want it on this side. I'm going to put it there, and then it should hold pretty well. Get some ink on my blending brush, and then I'm going to try and do heavy to light, but I am so heavy-handed when it comes to blending brushes. It's best for me to just use lighter colors. But I thought green would work really well for this and be more of a neutral for an anniversary card. Plus, even though it reminds me of the Packers, green and gold really go well together. Okay, let's see, I might want a little bit more up here. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I gotta get those out of the way and clean off my board. And I actually don't need this. I can move it out of the way now. Close up my ink. So there we go. And now I'm going to show you I didn't want to do just the plain foil. I thought it needed something. So I decided to just use my scoring board and just put some stripes in it. And let me tell you, this is hard to do on such a tiny piece. Gotta try and keep it in place and not lose your stylus. It's actually easier for me, I think, if I just turned around because I'm right-handed. Granted, it does not work well going that way. There we go. Whoop. Okay, I'm just gonna hide it behind. Maybe you have a better way. I suppose I could have just held it in the middle somewhere, but I think this will still work. Oh, okay. Maybe I should just hold it in the middle. Let's go. We got that one. Okay, that works so much better. Thanks for telling me that. There we go. One there. And then, whoops. One more. Okay. Just to give it some more interest, I could have embossed it, but it really just, it seemed simpler to use the scoreboard. So I am going to attach that now, and what, I did about an inch from the bottom? Yeah. And I still prefer liquid glue when I'm using embossing. Okay, about an inch from the bottom. Oh, and this is 3/4 by 4 for the gold piece. Here we go. And I can stick it on the card base. I like monochromatic some days. Okay, now we're going to set that aside, and I do not have a piece of white ready. So I will get out a piece, and then we're going to use the Peaceful Pine again. Get my happy anniversary and stamp that there. Oh, I did not do a good job. Let's do that again. And I've still got the other side of the paper if that doesn't work. That's better. Okay. Then, oh, where did I put, oh, it's over here. I forgot to grab my die. So I'm going to use this one. the dies look like this. Or this one is, I haven't used any of the other ones yet, but this one seems like it's a little too big for a standard A2 card, so I'm gonna have to play around with that. This one looks kind of cool too. So I just picked the one that Happy Anniversary fit in. Oops. Okay. Now, what we start with is just die cutting it, like a standard die. Take our special die here. Gonna tape it down because I don't trust myself to not move it. And I'm gonna run that through. Okay. And now, whoops, as I throw it on the floor, I'm trying not to have it come out of the die. Oh, looks like I did not get that all the way through. I must have been a little too straight on. Well, let's try that again. I'm going to, did not do this the last time. So I think that was a me issue and not the die. Okay. Now, so it comes in two parts. And I don't think the middle gets any extra embossing. But so you have this, which looks pretty cool by itself. But if you leave it in here, and then we have to change up our sandwich. And so I kept the instructions for the impressions plate, and it tells you that you need the base plate, you need 2, which is this one. Then you put your piece in, and I will fix the paper. Then you have the, oh, you can't see this. So 1 and 2, and then you have the impressions plate, and then you have the specialty plate like you use for the 3D embossing folders. And this is what this impressions plate looks like, which is why I'm calling it a mat. I have similar ones, but this one is a different thickness, it seems. I haven't actually measured it, but it's really thick. So we will make sure that our die is in there. We will try and make sure our die is in there. Then I'm going to put the impressions plate on it. Try not to move the paper. And then I have my specialty plate. And then I'm going to run this through. And the impressions plate will squeeze out one end or the other. That is just how those mats work. And that's how you can emboss with the dies. And you should be able to use this with any of the dies that you have to make an embossing. So there it is. And we will, oh, don't forget the die. Don't lose your dies in your embossing machine. Okay, we'll put that off to the side. And yes, I will forever keep these together so I don't lose it. And if you want to, the same way that I clean off all of the bits from die cutting with the rollers, that is great for getting all these little bits off. Okay. So I chose to do this with dimensionals, and I did mini dimensionals so I could put it in all the corners. Now I'm going to take this one and stick it on my card. And the nice thing about the grooves, if I can see them, is that you can line up the points with them. Now I'm going to do dimensionals on the back of my oval, and since I've got the mini ones out, I will just use those. And there we go. And I will just tuck it right in here. think I would prefer to use my reverse tweezers just to get that back in. Okay, that's pretty good. I kind of like how it's somewhat at a different level just because of the excess paper there. And then I'm going to finish it off with a few of the metallic gems. Put some gold on to go with the gold foil background, or I don't know what you'd call that. Stripe? Piece. Sure, piece. We'll go with that. Then I think I need to replace the sticky stuff in mine. It's pretty low down there. Okay. And there you go. Congratulations, Susan. And I will have a link to my blog post in the description below. And from there you can get to the other blog hops, or you can go to Instagram and hop along there. Thanks for joining me.